Hey guys, welcome back. Drip Coach here with Drip and Farm for Poverty, where we don't trust, we verify, and operate with integrity and transparency. And today, just breaking down a recent interview that Mario Nawafal and did with Raoul Pal. They've met multiple times over the years, and I'm doing this just because of where the markets are at. So, as they say, when in doubt, zoom out. And for me, when in doubt, try to gather together the information of those that have bigger bags than you have been doing this for a longer time frame, so you can kind of calm yourself. So stay tuned. Feeling that meme coin FOMO kick in, like you missed out on Doge and SHIB and watching Trump soar to number 2? Don't miss your next shot at flipping the script. Flapjacks is more than a meme. It's deflationary, sticky, and community built with utility. Don't wait for FOMO to set in. Stack your gains now at flapjacks.xyz. All right, you guys who follow me know that I have definitely adopted Raoul Pal's narrative. Some may agree with him, some may not, but from my perspective, he's the only one that's actually put all these puzzle pieces together and how this works, going all the way back to Bitcoin's inception and why it's gained adoption. And it's all basically due to global money supply and financing the debts and the global reserve currency being tied to the dollar. So as he says, number go up because those things are pegged to debasing currencies, basically, and Bitcoin is the only way out of that. So I'm going to play, this was a 2-hour interview that was on Mario's channel 3 days ago as of this video, maybe it'll be 5 by the time you see this, not sure. But the intro is probably the best piece of advice. So I'm going to play that clip real quick.
Where are we now compared to what your expectations were back in November, December when during our last interview?
In terms of which? Crypto?
General market, crypto. General market sentiment, from a macro perspective as well. Has that changed your thesis in any way? Has it altered it in any way? More bullish, less bullish?
No, it's exactly where I think it is, which is we're now in the part of the cycle which tends to be what I call the banana singularity, when things start to get really crazy. We've seen that with the Trump coin and whatever. What we're still missing is the massive liquidity injections that should come into the market from the central banks and governments. We've got the US will be draining what's known as the Treasury General Account, which is their checking account. That will increase liquidity significantly in the US over the next few months until they negotiate the debt ceiling. I think there's a broader deal that's going to get done with the dollar and China. And I think the US has been using the strong dollar as a negotiation point with China. China can't stimulate its broken economy right now until the dollar weakens, because if not, if they stimulate, they'll break the peg against the dollar, which they do not want. They don't want capital flight. So you need the dollar to come down, and then the Chinese can stimulate and help the world economy recover. The US knows this, and it's a tool for everybody. If Chinese economy starts to recover, they'll buy US treasuries. So we're at the really interesting point in the cycle where all the debt has to get refinanced, all the games have to get played, the dollar needs to weaken, rates will come down, and everyone will refinance their debts by adding liquidity. What does that all mean? All of the macro stuff, all it means is number go up. Liquidity is
So that's, for me, kind of what keeps me staying kind of sane when you see your bag or portfolio drop by like 30%. I think mine's down 30% with my alts, even though they're up from where I got them like in the last cycle. It just, it's always a buying opportunity, but there's still definitely some psychological warfare you got to deal with yourself whenever you see these tokens be like, oh, this is a great buying opportunity because part of your brain telling you it's like, oh shit, is this it? And that's actually the narrative right now in the space. There's some people that believe that Bitcoin the top was basically like the 120, and we may have already seen it, and this cycle has changed due to the macro factors and stuff like that. Like, I do believe it's changed, but I lean more towards, I'm not gonna get to that part in the clip in here where Raoul Pal said that, but that the cycle is more so extended and that we just may see less downside percentage wise in Bitcoin, because you got to think the more liquidity that's in it right now, the higher the price, and the more that nation states start mining it, adopting it, putting it on their balance sheet, like MicroStrategy, Strategy now, they dropped the micro, then that's more and more people that are just holding it and less people that are actually trading it. Like this chart shows here, the amount of Bitcoin on the exchanges so far has reached a peak, and that was in March 11th, 2020. So remember, you get less and less that's available to mine, and then the miners have to sell less and less of it to stay profitable based off the price of Bitcoin. So the amount of Bitcoin that's actually on exchanges and tradable, that can change. Obviously, stuff coming out of cold storage or whatever, but it's not that much. It's 10% of the supply. And that's what I'm saying. This cycle could, going forward from here, just see less drawdowns, maybe not the 70, 80%, and even the 90s we've seen previously, maybe only 30, 40, 50 at most. And maybe not even that, who knows? Because more people are going to be holding it. Like Michael Saylor is not trading his Bitcoin, he's removing that. So that's less and less in the available tradable supply, and other nation states, sovereign wealth funds, companies will probably be adopting that exact same strategy. Let's continue the video.
Debasement of currency. Debasement of currency is the driver of crypto prices and all asset prices. So it all lies ahead this year. What's interesting is the discussion around when the cycle ends. So a lot of people have PTSD because of the last cycle, and that finished early. It peaked in April, went down 50%, up, made a new high, and then kind of just failed, right? That was driven by the fact that the business cycle, the ISM survey, peaked in March 2021. Why? Because we had that snap crash from COVID and then snap back up, and the business cycle peaked, as did liquidity. So the cycle peaked. So as it went down again, tried to come up again, but kind of failed because there was no follow through because the business cycle had peaked. This time around, the business cycle is actually still below 50, which is the slow growth zone, not recession zone, but slow growth. And all the forward-looking indicators say the US economy and the global economy is about to get a lot stronger. And so we're nowhere near peaking. In fact, we're only just bottoming. So the chances are that we might even go through all the way till Q1 2026. So I think we've got a longer cycle. I think it will almost certainly outperform the last cycle and looks more like 2017 to me, which, guess what, was a Trump cycle. And we entered the Trump cycle last time with tariffs and, oh my God, this and that. Rates were going up and the dollar was going up. Trump came into office and immediately said the dollar's too high. The dollar came lower. China were also near recession. They had to stimulate. They spent the rest of the next 2 years stimulating. And that's what drove the crypto cycle in 2017. So we've got an incredible similar setup to 2017, which you were around for that one. It was bullish as hell.
So that is also what I put into my little bag of knowledge, is that this, from Raoul Pal's perspective and all of the analysis he does, this is following similar patterns. So again, he's the macro guy. So it's not just looking at crypto. He's looking at these bigger influencers, and that being the M2 global money supply, and how China and stuff gets affected by that, and treasury bonds and demographics such as workforce, all this stuff. So it's like, if he's still saying that this is continuing, then I'm like, I will leverage your conviction, because I don't have that amount of knowledge, but I'm willing to bet on Bitcoin at least being the asset that will continue to appreciate year after year when you zoom out. And then the other alts, I just have no idea. I'm definitely still leaning towards, now with Trump, these made in the USA type tokens. There's even now a actual category on CoinMarketCap. Now, not all of them, of course, but I definitely believe Solana, of course, Doge, Cardano, Chainlink, because Chainlink is in the World Liberty Fi. I don't know if Sui was or not, but there's definitely a few of the HBAR was. I don't know where that's at on here, if that's the top or not. Yeah, there it is. So there's definitely a few of these that have been spoken about amongst the regulatory front, and that World Liberty Fi is supporting. So I would definitely be hedging my bet on these, but these are just ways to collect more Bitcoin for me. So everything else, I don't really know. It can be much more volatile because there is millions more crypto tokens, specifically memes, than there have been in previous cycles. So that means the people like us that are already in, the money's just trading hands. There's not a lot of new people moving down the rabbit hole, because when retail comes in, like I showed you guys before, they come in via their Coinbase, their Kraken, their Gemini, their Binance app, and they will just buy whatever is there. That's just the lowest barrier to entry and low-hanging fruit for them. And it's like, yeah, I'll throw $100 in this. Even when I got my dad in, he's in Thailand, he did the same thing. In some of his Thai friends, they did the same thing. They just looked at whatever was there, and whatever was a cheap, low cost token for Thai baht equivalent, they threw some dollars at. Like, that's how they look at this. So we have to think of that as well. Even with global adoption, they're not going to jump through all the hoops to find the best, the next Solana meme token and pump your bags. So all that being said, I believe this cycle will extend and it's not over. And I hope that literally this is just bottoming, as Raoul Pal said, like finding this bottom being the 90K range, and we don't go any lower than that. But you never know with Bitcoin. You could still see that 30%, but maybe we see the 30-40 once we break 150, and then that's just right back to where we are. So all that is just to say, when in doubt, zoom out. It's not dead yet. Continue stacking sats. All right, smash that HBO special, help brother out, like, subscribe, comment down below, and until next time, lift daily and achieve your impossible. See you. Want to pay your in real life bills with crypto? How about send crypto directly to anyone with a bank account? Spritz Finance is a decentralized solution to be your own bank and connect your crypto earnings to real world bills and payments. They do not take custody of your assets and allow support on multiple blockchains and Web3 wallets. Sign up below using my referral link and you will get $50 back when you make your first $50 bill payment with crypto. Additionally, I will be using referral bonuses to airdrop, donate, or burn based on community feedback. Sign up now.